Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is June 20th, 2023. It's on Tuesday and sunny outside. How are you spending Tuesday? How do you like Tuesday? Do you like Tuesday or do you hate Tuesday? Are you getting used to the working condition after Monday? It usually take longer than average people for me to go back to the normal working condition after holidays, after Saturday and Sunday. And after spending Monday at workplace, my condition started to normalize. Interpretation. Through interpretation, the artists were talking to each other through interpretation. To our surprise, the ministers were talking without interpretation. Interpretation. The foreign dignitaries were talking to each other through interpretation. The new technology might replace the work, replace the position as a new worker. The new technology such as AI might replace those working in the position as a new worker. The new technology such as AI might replace those working in the interpretation field as a new worker. My interpretation of your performance as excellent, came from my bottom of my heart, instinct, not compliments. Your interpretation of the person as kind without evidence and without long relationship is ridiculous. Too early decision. Obsolete interpretation of going to school as common sense might be nothing. The interpretation of going to school as common sense will be obsolete in the future because we can already learn such things at home through the internet. The interpretation of going to school as common sense might be obsolete in the future. 99% of the citizens interpreted the car accident as a failure of the driver. I interpret the medicine as makeshift remedy, temporary remedy to repress the itchiness on my skin. I don't wanna my way of thinking to be interpreted as wrong. Many people interpret me as crazy. Many people interpret me as crazy. And some people might interpret eating noodles with sound as rude, crude. And some people might interpret eating ramen with sound, loud, as rude. Some people interpret eating ramen or other noodles loud as rude. What made you want to be an interpreter? I find interpreter cool. They are very cool for me. They are very attractive for me. Interpreter. What made you want to be an interpreter? Once upon a time, I watched a TV in which the interpreter was interpreting English into Japanese in the TV. So I found it very cool. It was a kind of miracle the interpreter was using. Interpreter is a kind of a wizard for me who can use the ability to speak multiple languages. Interpreter is a kind of a wizard for me who can use a special magic to understand, speak, listen foreign languages. The car accident is definitely the outcome that you disregarded the traffic light and speeding. The car accident was made. The car accident came about because you disregarded the speed limitation. Don't disregard a traffic light, transportation rule, speeding limit, and so on. Disregarding is the worst thing, it is said, more than criticizing others. It is said that disregarding is the worst thing than any other things, including criticizing others. The car driver was pulled over for disregarding a traffic light. The traffic driver was seized for disregarding a traffic light. The car driver was pulled over for disregarding a traffic light, street light, traffic light, street light, traffic light. Disregard is said to be the best way to escape from scammings. Disregard is said to be the best strategy against scamming. But the content written in the scamming emails are getting very confusing and realistic, pretending to be mega companies and so on. But there are always lacks in the sentences. There are always something strange in the sentences. Broken grammar, strange way of comments, and so on. Well, there are something strange. Especially the email address is quite strange. So there are many points we can notice. Scamming by. Disregard is said to be the best way against scamming, including phishing scam, scamming call, and so on. It is said that the disregard is the best way against scamming. Disregard is said to be the best way against scamming. Disregard. 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 The car driver was pulled over for the disregard of the speed limitation traffic light. The truck driver was pulled over by the police officers hidden in the corner of the road for the disregard of the traffic light. In this era, abundant with a lot of information, the ability to disregard might be very important to focus on the thing we really have to work on, because there are many informations, temptations, whatever out there. So the ability to disregard could be very important in this era, to concentrate on what we really have to work on. Your indifference to something will show you by how long you can work on. If you are really into something, you will keep doing that forever. There is no end to your passion, enthusiasm. So it is very important to find something you can be really into. And what is better? And if the passion becomes your position, occupation, profession, it is the best. So it is the best to find your passion, your dream job, before graduating from high school or university, before entering the society. But I think it is difficult. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do before the graduation. I think it can be said to many people. Indifference. My indifference to something soon appear from some perspectives. Expression, no motivation, cannot continue, and so on. Indifference to something will appear. Your instinct will show the indifference to something which is not interesting for you. Indifference, indifference, indifference. Your instinct will show you the indifference to something. Our instinct will tell us the indifference to something. It depends on your personality, taste, gene, and so on. There are a lot of factors creating the indifference to something. I am indifferent to cars. I am indifferent to cars. So when it comes to the conversation regarding cars, I cannot catch up with. I cannot keep up with it. I cannot catch up with it. I cannot keep up with it. I cannot understand the topic. I cannot make heads or tails of the genre of cars, the names of the cars, and so on. Because I am indifferent to cars. So I'm really waiting for the cars to be automated perfectly. And all we have to do is to push the button and set up where we wanna go. And we can do what we want in the inside. Maybe the concept of the car will be drastically changed. So I hope that the design of the cars in the future will be like a one-room apartment equipped with necessities such as cooking stove, air conditioning, of course. Air conditioning is most of the cars come with air conditioners already. So maybe beddings, sink, water sink, and so on. So it is like a one-room apartment. So maybe we can work on duty or relaxing in the bed and so on. Maybe it's like a sleeping car, automated by program. Have you ever been to a concert hall? Have you ever been to the Century Hall in Tokyo? Unfortunately, the ticket for the piano concerto was very expensive, so I could not afford to join the concert. But someday, when I become rich enough to be able to buy such expensive ticket, I really wanna go. Have you ever been to the piano concerto held in Century Hall in Tokyo? No, but I really wanna go, but the ticket is very expensive. I cannot pay 10,000 yen for the ticket. I'm poor. I wish I were rich enough to be able to buy such expensive ticket without hesitation. I really hope someday. Concerto, piano concerto, violin concerto. What kind of concerto are there? Concerto, 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 piano concerto, concerto. My favorite pianist is going to play the piano concerto. I wish I were rich enough to be able to buy the ticket easily without hesitation. I wish I were rich enough to be able to buy the ticket like spending my as easy as push the button. Like as easy as push the button. concerto, concerto in a hall, whenever I perform in front of people, I get super nervous, enough to make me panic. When it comes to performing in front of people, I get super nervous, enough to make my preparation useless. Are you good at presenting in front of people, maybe at a meeting in your department or with other departments in the whole company? Have you ever presented your research in academic circles? Have you ever presented your research or invention or something like that at academic circles? Academic circles is one of the places you can present your study, research, findings, and so on. Academic circles, academic circles, academic circles. Academic circles. Academic circles. Academic circles. Academic circles. Academic circles. Our section in chief is supposed to present at academic circles. The section in chief of our department is to present at academic circles. The section in chief of our department is to perform academic circles, deliver speech at academic circles, and visiting guest. Our section in chief is to deliver a speech, give a speech at academic circles as visiting guest. My favorite entertainer, my favorite celebrity is to deliver a speech as a visiting guest at academic circles. So although I don't have the theme of the academic circles, I might join because it is free to join. But many people are expected to visit. Maybe I will join. If it is crowded with a lot of people, enough to be 0 seats, I will go back. And I hate to park my car in a crowded places. Maybe there will be no vacant parking lot at that time when the academic circles is going to be held. Academic circles. Academic circles. Have you ever presented your research at academic circles? Have you ever presented what you have been studying at academic circles? Have you ever presented what you have been researching at academic circles? No. I wish I were as talented as you. If I were as talented as you, I would perform in front of people like you. I wish I were as talented a pianist as you. I would like to perform on the street piano, attracting the audiences. If I were as talented a pianist as you, I would perform and play the street piano. I wish I were a bird. I would fly to your window every morning to wake you up. If I were as talented a pianist as you, I would play the street piano. If I were as talented a pianist as you, if I were as talented a pianist as you, if I were talented a pianist as talented a pianist as you, I would play the street piano. If I were as talented a pianist as you, I would play the piano, street piano. If I were as talented a pianist as you, I would play the street piano. But my playing is really awful. I don't find horror movie awful, horrible, scary, dreadful. I don't find horror movies awful because I'm scarier than ghosts. I don't find horror movies awful. I don't find horror movies awful. I sometimes feel awful. The weather will be awful tomorrow. So I will finish drying clothes and other beddings by today. Seen from the coarse texture of the cloth, it was produced awful by an amateur. Just looking at the appearance of the cloth, it was produced by amateur awful. The CEO of the hotel appeared and apologized to the customer for the receptionist treating the customer awful. The boss of the hotel appeared and apologized to the customer for the receptionist treating the customer awful. The CEO of the hotel came to the customer to give apology to the customer for the staff treating the customer awful. The area was struck awful by the typhoon. The typhoon destroyed the region awful. The typhoon struck the region awful. The region was devastated by the typhoon awful. The region district area was struck by typhoon awful. The region was destroyed awful. The region was destroyed awfully. It's awfully hot today. It's awfully cold today. Due to the negligence of the employee, the production was made awfully. If the professionals look at only the appearance, they will notice it will produce awfully, rudely, coarsely, crudely, awfully, 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 awfully. Are you interested in antique goods? I think some elderly people like antique goods. They like to collect antique goods and decorate them in the front, in the entrance or living room, and so on. I find antique goods cool, but I cannot afford to buy them. I just find them beautiful, but I cannot afford to buy them. I prefer to make my room simple, without putting many things. Is your room messy with objects, or do you also prefer to be simple, without putting many things, avoiding putting many things in your room? Are you a minimalist or maximalist? The contrast of antique atmosphere, scenery, and the modern building surrounding, creating breathtaking beauty. The contrast of antique scenery of the castle and modern buildings surrounding it, creating a beautiful harmony. The contrast of the antique castle's scenery and modern buildings surrounding it is creating a beautiful scenery, beautiful contrast. Antique, 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 antique design. Which do you prefer, this antique or the abstract design? My drawing is something of abstract art. No one can understand it. Even if I tried to write a dog, nobody could recognize it as a dog. They said it was a dinosaur, not a dog. Incorporating antique designs, antique antique goods in the guest house is making the atmosphere more moderate, comfortable, relaxed. Incorporating some antique goods in the guest house made the atmosphere of the guest house more comfortable, more relaxed. The antique design of the guest house is attracting customers from all over the world. Are you interested in antiques? Antiques can be very expensive. Do you have very valuable antiques? Maybe the antique sleeping in your older house might be very expensive. You should bring it to a specialist and evaluate the value. The old antique sleeping in your house might be very expensive, so I recommend you bring those to the specialist experts. Do you know the TV program evaluating everything on TV? The object you bring will be assessed, evaluated, valued by the specialist. Since the painting has a very unique different size, so in order to adjust the size of the frame, I fold it to a smaller size. I folded it into smaller size in order to match the size of the frame. I folded the edge of the painting. I folded the edge of the painting. Although I was searching for the frame which would match the size of the painting, but I couldn't find, so I ended up folding the edge of the painting to match the size of the frame. I see. Got it. Uchiwa is made of paper on a bamboo or wooden frame. It is used to cool down your body or fanning a fire. Charcoal fire under the ear when the cooker cook ear over charcoal fire, and the uchiwa is also used to fanning the fire. To my surprise, the uchiwa I bought about 12 years ago is still working. There is no damage on it. It's awesome. Besides that, it was very cheap. It was only 300 yen. Oh my god. The frame of the scamming organization is very confusing, enough to make it difficult to be detected by the police officers. The frame of the scamming organization is very confusing, enough to make it difficult to detect. In order to frame a picture, I folded the edge to some extent. In order to frame the picture, I folded the edge to some extent, to a certain extent, to some degrees. In order to frame the picture, I folded the edge of the picture. I folded the edge of the picture. I folded the edge of the picture in order to match the size of the frame, in order to frame the picture. Do you think I can frame the furniture on my own, alone? Excuse me, do you think I can assemble, produce, set up, frame the furniture alone? Excuse me, do you think I can assemble the furniture alone? Excuse me, do you think I can assemble the furniture alone? Do you think, excuse me, do you think I can frame the furniture alone on my own? If it had not been for your support, collaboration, I could not have finished it. I could not have framed it on time so quickly. Had it not been for your collaboration, I could not have framed it so quickly. If it were not for your collaboration, I wouldn't be able to frame the furniture so quickly. How much does it cost to have the furniture assembled at my home? If it is expensive, I will do that on my own. I'd like to know how much it will cost to have the furniture framed at my house by the specialist. I'd like to know how much it will cost to have the furniture framed at my house. If it is expensive, like more than 10,000 yen, I will do that on my own. In order to frame the picture, I folded the edge of the picture. Although I was searching for the best frame which would match the size of the picture, but I could not find, so I was forced to fold the edge of the picture to frame it. Excuse me, do you think I can frame the furniture alone? If it were not for your collaboration and pitch in, I couldn't frame the furniture so quickly. If it had not been for your collaboration, I couldn't have framed the furniture so quickly. It might have taken a couple of days or even a week. So I really appreciate it. What are you framing? Do you recommend that I buy something to frame the furniture easier? Excuse me, I'd like to ask, do I need something special tool to frame the furniture? I have the plus and minus driver, and that's it. Is it enough? If I would frame that, if I framed that, it would take twice or three times longer than you. If I framed it, it would take twice as long as you. If I framed that, it would take twice or three times as long as you. Are there any tips for framing the furniture? Are there tips for framing the furniture? Tips for framing the furniture. Hmm. If I framed that furniture, it would take three or four times as long as you. If I framed the furniture, it would take twice or three times longer than you. Would you mind helping me frame a picture? There are about 50 in total. The number of the pictures which need to be framed amount to about 50. So would you mind helping me frame the pictures? Would you mind helping me frame the pictures? Would you mind helping me frame the pictures? Frame. Would you mind helping me framing the tent, framing the model, framing the makeshift tent, framing the container, desks, table. I'm searching for a frame which matches the picture. Excuse me, I'm searching for a frame which matches the size of the picture. Excuse me, I'm searching for a frame that would match the size of my picture. The size of my picture is 35-45 centimeters. At the worst, I will fold the edge of the picture to frame that. Excuse me, how much does it cost? How much will it cost for the furniture to be framed at my house by the specialist? If it is more than 10,000 yen, I will not ask. I will do that on my own. Excuse me, how will it cost to have the furniture assembled at my house by the specialist? I'd like to know. Excuse me, how much will it cost to have the furniture framed at my house by the specialist? If it is more than 10,000 yen, I will do that on my own. Excuse me, how much will it cost to get the furniture framed at my house? Excuse me, I'd like to know how much it will cost to get the furniture framed at my house. Do you think I can frame the furniture on my own? Do you think I can frame the furniture on my own? Excuse me, I'm searching for a frame which will match the size of the picture of my picture. Excuse me, I'm searching for a frame which will match the size of my picture. The size of my picture is 35 and 45 centimeters. In the worst case, I will fold the edge of the picture to frame it. The employee who is regarded as a savior appeared at exquisite timing while we are in trouble. The employee who is called savior and superhero appeared at exquisite timing while we are in trouble. Exquisite, 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 exquisite. You need to take an exquisite balance to walk on the rope. In order to take the exquisite balance, the bar is served to pass the rope over the two peaks, strained over the two peaks, strained over the two peaks. Exquisite, exquisite, exquisite timing. The 12 o'clock chime was rung at an exquisite timing when we stopped working. When we stopped working. The 12 o'clock chime was rung at the exquisite timing just when we finished playing the concerto. So it was like a farewell ring, farewell sound, finished sound. Exquisite timing, exquisite balance. I don't know where it is placed, but I saw a huge stone put on a cliff, taking an exquisite balance. It looks like it's about to fall from the cliff, but the stone is taking an exquisite balance. It's about to fall. It's on the verge of falling. On the verge of falling. On the brink of falling. I don't know where the huge stone is located, but I saw it sometimes, on occasion, occasionally. The huge stone seems to be falling. The huge stone looks almost falling. And the huge stone looks about to fall. The huge stone appears to be falling. The huge stone appears to be falling almost. The huge stone is about to fall. The huge stone looks on the verge of falling. The huge stone looks on the brink of falling. I wish I were as talented as you. If I were as talented a pianist as you, I would play the street piano to attract audiences. I really envy your technique. I wish I had started piano much earlier, when I was 3 or 4 years old. If I were as talented a pianist as you, I would play the street piano and attract audiences. I wish I had started playing the piano much earlier. What is the definition of talent? Is the gene related? Is the effort related? Everything will be related. What is the definition of talent? Do you think being able to study for 8 hours in a day is also included a talent? Do you think that being able to study whole day is a kind of talent? And do you suppose, do you presume, do you bet that being able to study whole day is included in the talent? You look as if you had seen a ghost. You looked as if you had lost everything yesterday. You looked as if you had lost everything yesterday. You looked as if you had haunted by a ghost yesterday. You look as if you had been haunted by a ghost. You look as if you had been haunted by a ghost. You look as if you had been haunted by a ghost. And some people speak. Some people talk as if they knew everything. And some people talk as if they knew everything. I felt something. I felt something depression because she spoke as if she had failed the examination at first, but it was a prank to make me surprised. Don't take me by surprise in such a bad way. The technology of VR makes me have the sense as if we were in a different area or place because of the high definition of the screen. The new technology of VR makes me have the sense as if we were in a different area, scenery, place, and so on, because of the high definition of the screen. The new technology of the VR makes me have the sense as if we were in a different place because of the high definition of the screen. The high definition of the screen of the VR makes me feel as if I were in a different area, place. The high definition of the screen of VR makes me feel as if I were in a different dimension. The high definition of the screen of the VR makes me feel as if I were in a different dimension. If the things that you are doing now are not based on your instinct, you will feel it. You will quit quickly. You will cease doing that quickly. If the stuffs you are working on now are not based on your instinct, passion, enthusiasm, they will not last forever. So your instinct will tell you how much you love it. Instinct, instinct, instinct. Instinct with motivation. Some people will be instinct with motivation at first phase of something, maybe a lecture or a course, but with time their motivation will decrease. Not many people can keep up the motivation until the end. Instinct, 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 instinct. My instinct told me to hold on to the position when I found the recruitment. As soon as I found the recruitment of the position, my instinct told me to apply for the position. As soon as I found an attractive chair on the internet, my instinct forced me to buy it. My instinct told me to buy it. On finding a special, very cute designed carpet, my instinct told me to buy it. Instinct. There are no reasons why you love something. It's based on our instinct. My body moved with instinct. And some people bow to each other by instinct. Many people were instinct with motivation at first phase of the lecture, but later 80% of the students lost motivation, concentration, focus, according to the research. No, fake. Just talking to myself, random things. So it's not based on evidence. Just talking to myself, random things. Many newcomers to the society will be instinct with motivation in April because the fiscal year in Japan starts from April 1st. Are you instinct with anger? I was advised not to talk to the boss when he is instinct with anger. Are you instinct with motivation? Are you instinct with anger? Could you tell me the strategies or methods you use when you are instinct with anger to release your stress? What do you like to do when you are instinct with anger to release your stress? Shouting at karaoke or eating a lot. Everybody has their own different way of releasing stress. I want to be instinct with hope. I want to be instinct with hope for the future. I want all of the people to be instinct with hope for the future, to create a better world. Are you instinct with appreciation? If all of the people are instinct with appreciation, the world will be better. Are you instinct with appreciation towards the people? Are you instinct with appreciation towards people? Are you instinct with appreciation towards people? I want to be instinct with appreciation toward everybody. I want to be instinct with appreciation toward everybody. I want to be instinct with appreciation toward everybody. When it comes to the subjects I'm interested in, I can be instinct with motivation. But when it comes to the subject I'm not interested in, I cannot focus on at all. My instinct tells me. My movement to give my seat to the elderly people was instinctive. My movement of giving up my seats to the elderly people was instinctive. And bowing to the neighbors was instinctive. Bowing to each other to show respect is instinctive for many people, for many Japanese. Bowing to each other is a kind of instinct for many Japanese people to show respect as greetings. As greetings, bowing to each other in Japan is something of an instinct. Instinctive, 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 instinctive. Bowing to each other, bowing to the passers-by, neighbors, friends, relatives, acquaintances, and others is instinctive for me. Is instinctive for me. Instinctive for me. Instinctive. Instinctive. I felt a harbinger for bad thing instinctively from the crowd. The crowd. I felt scared from him instinctively. I felt scary omen for the future instinctively from the scamming company. I felt scary omen for the future of the company instinctively. 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 I cannot withstand being with him instinctively. I cannot feel comfortable being in a group instinctively. I don't feel comfortable in a group or with many people instinctively. I am this kind of person who cannot be comfortable, who cannot feel comfortable being in a group instinctively. I am this kind of person who cannot feel comfortable in a group instinctively. Instinctively. I cannot put up with being with some particular people instinctively. I cannot withstand, endure, put up with, bear being with some particular people instinctively. I cannot bear being with a particular people instinctively. instinctively because their personality doesn't fit me. Instinctively. 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 I couldn't expect my performance would be so splendid today. I thought my play would be filled with many mistakes, as usual, because of the nervousness. But a lot of practices I have ever done made it. So I'm surprised at it. Maybe this is a present from my uh, grandfather who passed away recently. Thank you. I didn't expect my play at the concert to be so splendid. It was much better than I expected. It's a lot still even better than I expected. Large and far and large, better than expected. By far better than expected. It is by far the best sound I ever heard. Splendid, 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 marvelous, splendid, splendid, marvelous. Your performance on the stage left nothing to be desired. It was splendid, perfect, marvelous. My boss told me to summarize the content of the meeting, and told me to submit it to his email address by Friday night. Abstract. My painting is something of a abstraction. My drawings are something of abstract art. My painting or drawings are something of an abstract art in a bad way. Abstract art. My dream is usually abstract, like happiness. According to the video I watched yesterday, concreting our purpose is very important because we can know which direction we should run to by concreting the purposes. If the purposes are abstract, we don't know which way we should go. By concreting the purposes, our dreams, we can know the direction we should run to, and the measures will be more clear, said the YouTuber. Abstract answer, not concrete. I learned there is no kanji before abstract noun. Abstract. I wrote an abstract wish on the emma at the shrine. Maybe I should have written more concrete dream or purpose on it. Abstract Abstract. Abstract of the contents of the story. I sometimes watch the YouTube video in which the YouTuber explains the tips which is useful in the society. I sometimes watch YouTube videos where the YouTuber gives us the abstracts from informative books. I sometimes watch YouTube videos where the YouTuber gives us tips which are very useful in the society. The abstract from informative books. Informative books. Useful books. According to some research, analysis, and so on. I sometimes watch YouTube videos where the YouTuber gives us tips, gives us the random abstract of informative books, which usually deals in analysis taken in the society and so on. I sometimes watch a YouTube video where the YouTuber gives us the abstract of informative books with some analysis, research, and so on. I sometimes watch YouTube videos which the YouTuber gives us the abstract of informative books which are very useful to us in society, in our daily life. I sometimes watch YouTube videos in which the YouTuber gives us the abstract of informative books dealing in tips for useful, tips for having a better, tips for making the life better. Abstract. 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 I sometimes watch YouTube videos in which the YouTuber gives us abstract of informative books, usually dealing in tips for society, living better in society. I sometimes watch YouTube videos in which the YouTuber gives us abstract of some informative books, usually dealing in tips for better life, in daily life, in the society, like how to deal with people, how to cut down the relationship with others, and so on. What is the sign we should cut down the relationship with someone? Abstract. 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 Make an abstract of a book. The YouTuber make an abstract of a book. The YouTuber make an abstract of many books which are very useful. So he has many subscribers. I was asked my boss to make an abstract of the meeting and send it to his email address within 24 hours, which is very strict, isn't it? Hmm. Abstract. Make an abstract. Make an abstract of a book. Make an abstract of a book. Make an abstract of the book. Could you make an abstract of the meeting? To make an abstract of what he said. Some YouTubers make an abstract of what celebrities said in the media so that the viewers can understand easily. Some YouTubers or people make the abstract of what some celebrities said in the media with concise words so that the viewers can understand easily. Some YouTubers make an abstract of what celebrities talked or incidents, accidents, breaking news, and so on, with concise explanations. Some YouTubers make an abstract of big news on the media with concise words so that the viewers can understand easily. And some YouTubers make an abstract of what is very popular, famous, or hot at that time. And some YouTubers make an abstract of what is very famous, popular at that time with concise words. Abstract. Make an abstract of a book. Make an abstract of the book. Make an abstract of the book. My boss asked me to make an abstract of the meeting and send him the email. My boss asked me to make an abstract, make a rundown of the meeting, and send it to his email address by Sunday's night. Abstract. Make an abstract of a book. Make an abstract of a book. Could you make an abstract of a book? I like the YouTuber make an abstract of what is very hot on the timely timing. I like watching the YouTube video where the YouTuber make an abstract of what is very famous at that time. I like to watch the video where the YouTuber make an abstract of what is happening at that time. Make an abstract of something. Make an abstract of what he said in the court. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you!